Alright, so MrBeast is not happy with Rolling Stone magazine because they put out a list named 25 most influential creators of 2025. And in that list, they ranked a creator named Caleb Hearon higher than MrBeast. So in that list, MrBeast was ranked at number 7 and Caleb Hearon was ranked at number 6. So MrBeast put out this tweet where he said, "According to this list, a guy with 1 million followers is more influential than me. What did I do to anger the Rolling Stones?" So yeah, obviously he wasn't happy about this, and MrBeast feels like he was wronged and that he should have been ranked higher in the list. And he specifically shares this image of that list, and it's Caleb Hearon at the 6th spot. And so, he's just saying that, hey, why was this guy ranked higher than me? And keep in mind that Caleb Hearon actually has way less followers than MrBeast, because Caleb Hearon has just 1.6 million followers. Meanwhile, MrBeast's combined followers are over 870 million in total. So, dude, it's just not even close, right? And so in that tweet, MrBeast specifically said that, this guy with like million followers has been ranked higher than me in terms of, how influential he is as a creator. So, that's the thing. He's just not happy about this. And honestly, man, yeah, like it makes sense, I don't know, like how they were thinking about how influential you are, but like, dude, clearly MrBeast is more influential than Caleb Hearon, and I've got nothing against this guy, but yeah, no, I'm gonna have to say, yeah, I agree with MrBeast's tweet here that, MrBeast having 7th place and this guy having 6th place just doesn't make any sense, because it's not just about the follower count or the subscriber count and stuff like that, but it's also just the scale of MrBeast's content and the kind of stuff he does. Like, for example, you take a look at Team Water, where they raised over 40 million for people who needed access to clean water. And MrBeast was collaborating with creators like XQC and Aiden Ross. And then there was Team Trees, which raised over 20 million for planting trees. And there was also Team Seas, which was focused on removing trash from the oceans to clean them up. And also, just take a look at the absolute scale of his videos. If any of you have watched MrBeast videos, and I'm guessing most of you have, you would know how much effort he puts into those videos, MrBeast's videos have these crazy premises where, you just can't have that without putting in tons and tons of effort just to arrange all of that before the recording even begins. Like, for example, if you take a look at MrBeast's Beast games, they're absolutely massive. The scale of those is absolutely insane. All of these contestants and all the stuff that they do to compete, it's just absolutely wild. Like, how could you compare that? It makes no sense. And, take a look at other things. For example, how MrBeast also like recreated Squid Game in real life. And, if you just take a look at the sets for MrBeast's videos, just building all of those, imagine how much effort it takes to actually build all of those. MrBeast employs so many people just because of how massive the scale of all of this is. He obviously can't do it on his own. He needs a massive team. He needs lots of people working for him and with him in order to make this stuff happen. And regularly, he brings in other creators who are pretty big creators, and he collaborates with them. And everybody who has been on YouTube for a long time knows that MrBeast completely changed the game in terms of content creation on YouTube. Before this, you didn't have such high production value within these videos. And now, MrBeast has set a new bar for this. By the way, I'm not saying that MrBeast is perfect or anything, by no means. However, I'm just pointing out the absolute scale of his videos and just how much he's changed the content creation game. Now, real quick, I'd just like to say that it would really help me out if you would subscribe to the channel, because I am trying to grow the channel, and so subscriptions always do help with that. Now anyway, back to the video. And another thing that I want to mention about MrBeast is how he has many different channels. A lot of them are channels that are based in other languages other than English. So it's the same MrBeast content, however it has been translated into other languages so that it can reach more audiences. And so that just makes MrBeast's influence even bigger, because now not only is he super influential in the English speaking world, but also is super influential in other parts of the world that speak different languages, like for example Spanish or Portuguese or French. And so now real quick, just going over his various channels, you can see how we got the main MrBeast channel, and it has 429 million subscribers. And then there's the MrBeast gaming channel, which has 48.9 million subscribers. Then there's MrBeast 2 with 51.7 million subscribers, and also MrBeast Philanthropy, which has 28.3 million subscribers. So yeah, this just goes to show how diverse his channels and his types of content are, especially how, he has the gaming channel as well, and also how you saw how big their subscriber counts were. So these are massive channels. But hey, something worth noting is that when MrBeast put out that tweet, calling this situation out, what ended up happening was that he did get a lot of criticism for it. Many people weren't happy that, he reacted this way. And so from what I know, he did end up deleting that tweet. And so he put out this tweet, which says, "Not gonna lie, after this, I watched some of his stuff and it's actually good." So yeah, he took that back, and, he just doesn't want the confrontation and the drama and all that. Because, I don't think he has anything against the creator, of course, just that he didn't like the ranking. But at the same time, when you do something like this, you like specifically mention somebody who's in a ranking, of course, it's gonna create like atmosphere where everybody's thinking that you're beefing with that person. So ultimately, MrBeast just took that back. And also do keep in mind that MrBeast has partnered with a lot of organizations and stuff like that. So, if something like this ends up getting a lot of attention and coverage, then I guess that doesn't look good for his brand then, right? I guess it was kind of also a business decision to go back on that, right? So I do understand why he did it. But at the same time, I don't think there was anything inherently wrong with him calling out that ranking. Because I do think, based off of all the reasons that I gave you, that yeah, he should have been ranked way higher on that list. So him pointing that out did actually make sense to me. But there's that thing where once you become as big as MrBeast, if you were to criticize somebody or something like that, and if it involves a person that has way less followers and subscribers and stuff like that, if there's just a way smaller creator compared to you, then it just doesn't look good, because a lot of people might say, oh, you're going after a smaller creator. And so because of that dynamic of you having way more followers and them having way less followers, it just doesn't look good for you. And I'd say that it's really not a new thing that these organizations, like for example Rolling Stone, have picked favorites in a way, right? Because of course there's that bias, right? If you like a certain creator, then you're more likely to say that they're more influential. And so in that sense, yeah, I'm really not surprised. This isn't the first time that this has happened. So there's definitely, I think, an argument to be made here based off of the bias. I don't know, maybe they actually genuinely thought that, that creator Caleb was more influential. But I'm someone who spent a lot of time on the internet, and I know a thing or two about the online content creation space. And so I personally just don't see that creator with the 1.6 million followers being more influential than MrBeast. I just don't really understand, how can you really make that argument? Maybe you could say that that specific creator has a way better growth trajectory, perhaps, right? Maybe they're gonna be super big in the near future, and so that's why they're in the list. But even then, I don't think MrBeast is gonna be slowing down anytime soon. He's always putting out these videos with these crazy ideas and stuff, and people are still watching them. But hey, you know what guys, those were just my thoughts on the situation, and now I'm interested in hearing what you think down in the comments below. So leave a comment letting me know what you think, and we can have a discussion down there. And with all that being said, guys, this is Alexi, signing out.